Hi, I'm Kevin Shepard
And I'm Maxie Long
of Shepard and Long. And the next 3 videos that we're going to present to you is basically going to be a brief series about factors that judges look at when determining child custody. And we're going to go over those factors with you. Now, the bottom line for every judge that hears a custody matter is what's in the best interest of the child. But the second thing the courts are going to look at is maximizing parents' time with that child.
So Kevin, does that mean that most judges are doing 50-50 or equal co-parenting time?
All right, well, that is a good question because we are seeing that so much now, a 50-50 parenting time. And by that, we're meaning that parents literally have equal custody of the child. Sometimes it's a week with mom and a week with dad. Other times it's shorter periods of time, but it's not always going to be 50-50. There are about 15 different factors that courts look at when coming up with a parenting plan that's going to be in the best interest of the child. So one of the first things that the courts look at is the strength and stability of the child's relationship with each parent. Obviously, that should have a significant impact on the judge, and it's one of the 15 factors. This means the court will look at overall, has one parent done more of the parenting responsibilities for the child? Has one parent been more of the hands-on to take care of the child? And we're going to talk about employment and how that interacts later, but in other words, is both mom and dad involved in the child's life, or is one parent just kind of absent and leaves all the parenting up to the other parent? That's one of the factors the judge can look at. A second one is a parent's past and future potential for performing parenting responsibilities.
What would be some examples of that?
Well, one thing that we really, as attorneys, as you know, it can be very contentious, is can the parent, for example, can mom encourage dad's relationship with the child? In other words, does mom say when it's the child's time to go to dad's house, have a good time, I'll see you in a few days? Or does she do things like, I hope your dad's good to you this time, do you really want to go see him? Or sometimes dads do things like that, like, well, I would take you to the movies, but your mom takes all my money. Those are bad things. You just need to know that. That is a bad thing to do, and judges will look at that about how you treat the other parent while in front of the child. And withholding parenting time is a big deal. If you as a parent are keeping that child away from the other parent when it's their time to see the child, that's going to be used against you in court. Another thing that courts look at, and we don't see this very much, is refusal to attend what's called a parenting education seminar. Now personally, I've never seen that be an issue in a divorce case, because if you're going to have a contested hearing, you have to take a parenting seminar. Usually it's about a 4-hour class, and it teaches you about communication with the other parent, things you need to know. So that's required in a divorce case, but if you refuse to take it, the judge can look at that as one of the factors. And finally, the factor I want to talk about today before we go to our next video is the disposition of each parent literally to provide for actual physical care of the child. Nutrition, clothing, transporting the child to school or to other events. I oftentimes will encourage clients to even keep a journal of some of the meals that they fix their child. Don't just take the kid to McDonald's for a Happy Meal every time you have them. Might be convenient, might be easy, but that should be more for a special treat. Make sure that your child is eating balanced meals, 3 meals a day, and and has appropriate clothing. Sometimes I see cases where parents send the child to the other parent's home wearing shoes that are too small, or it's 20 degrees outside and they don't send a coat with them just because they're trying to make it more difficult for the other parent. Don't do that. That's terrible, and judges will look at that. If you're a responsible parent, you're not going to make a big deal about the child being properly dressed, having good shoes and a coat or jacket or whatever they need when they leave your house to go somewhere else. Don't focus on the little things like, well, what if they don't send that underwear back that I bought? Then chill out about it. The judge will appreciate your attitude, and that can help you in a case that you're making sure that your child's needs are being met.